A Tale of Loss and Solitude star. In a quiet, picturesque town nestled at the edge of a dense forest, there lived a man named Benjamin. He was an unassuming man, known for his warm smile and willingness to lend a helping hand. But beneath that veneer of kindness, there lay a heart heavy with sorrow. The story of Benjamin's melancholy began on a stormy winter night, a night etched in his memory like a scar on his soul. He was spending a cozy evening with his family, his wife Sarah and their 2 children, Emma and James. The fireplace crackled with warmth, and laughter filled the room as they played board games. Then, with a deafening crash, their world crumbled. A massive oak tree, tormented by the relentless storm, fell with catastrophic force, smashing through their home. In a split second, their haven turned into a debris-laden battlefield. Benjamin, with adrenaline coursing through his veins, struggled to pull his unconscious family from the wreckage. The paramedics arrived swiftly, but the harrowing news shattered Benjamin's hope. Sarah had passed away, and his children were grievously injured. Weeks turned into months as Benjamin watched over Emma and James in the sterile environment of the hospital. He watched their innocence and laughter slowly replaced by pain, fear, and uncertainty. For little James, hope began to fade as his injuries worsened. Doctors did their best, but sometimes, life takes a cruel twist. In the hospital waiting room, Benjamin's friends were a constant presence. They offered support, brought him food, and sat by his side through countless sleepless nights. But as the months passed, their visits grew infrequent. Benjamin understood their lives were moving on, but he felt the gnawing emptiness of their absence. One fateful day, James's frail body succumbed to his injuries. Benjamin was left to face an unbearable truth. He had lost his beloved wife, and now, his precious children. The world outside seemed like a distant, unfeeling place. In the darkness of his soul, a new kind of storm raged, a storm of grief, despair, and desolation. As the seasons changed, so did Benjamin. He withdrew from the world, becoming a recluse in his own home, which still bore the scars of that dreadful night. Friends and acquaintances grew increasingly concerned, knocking on his door and calling, but their voices became nothing but fading echoes in the abyss of his solitude. Benjamin's life took on a rhythm of solitude. He would sit in his living room, staring at the charred embers of the once cherished fireplace. His only companions were the photographs on the mantelpiece, reminders of a life once filled with laughter and love. One winter evening, as snowflakes gently kissed the ground outside, an old friend named Robert decided to visit. Their friendship had been strained by Benjamin's isolation, but Robert refused to give up on his friend. When he arrived, he found Benjamin gaunt and pale, a mere shadow of the man he once knew. "Ben, it's been too long," Robert began, his voice filled with compassion. "I know you've been through hell, but you can't keep living like this. You can't let your family's memory be forgotten in the darkness." Benjamin met Robert's gaze, eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I can't let go, Robert. It's as if they are still here with me, and I can't bear to lose them again." Robert's words were gentle but firm. "You're not losing them by moving forward, Ben. You're honoring their memory by living a life filled with love and warmth, just as they would have wanted." With time and patience, Robert slowly coaxed Benjamin out of his self-imposed exile. He convinced him to visit the forest that once bordered his home, a place that had been a sanctuary for the family. As they walked beneath the towering trees and listened to the gentle rustling of leaves, Benjamin felt a flicker of life return to his soul. As the months passed, Benjamin began to reconnect with the world. He joined a support group for those who had experienced great loss, sharing his pain and finding solace in the stories of others. He sought therapy to help navigate the complex labyrinth of grief that had entangled him. Slowly but surely, Benjamin's life regained color. He found a renewed sense of purpose, volunteering at a local shelter, where he cared for homeless children who had faced their own share of tragedy. The smiles of those children, even in the face of adversity, reminded Benjamin of the resilience of the human spirit. In time, the echoes of his friends' voices returned, no longer distant and fading but filled with warmth and genuine concern. They welcomed him back into their lives, grateful to see the light returning to his eyes. Benjamin's story serves as a poignant reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is hope, and the love of those we've lost can guide us toward a brighter tomorrow. While his heart would forever bear the scars of loss, it also held the enduring memory of a love that would never fade, even as time marched inexorably on.